All right, Shalom. I'm a Hebrew Israelite coming out to prophesy the downfall of this sinful kingdom called America, but also to wake up the children of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, to the fact that we are the Israelites of the Holy Bible, God's chosen people. All right, but first and foremost, before I hop into it, I would like to give all praises to the Most High in their true Paleo-Hebrew names and in the Paleo-Hebrew tongue. So with that, I would like to say, Kal Halayim, Le Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Shema, Muf. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder as well, Ahar Wan Banyasharala. All right, Shalom to you, Akim, and the women and children that sincerely believe. So today, this lesson just going into keeping your faith and your patience, in these times to come, man. All right, because all hell is about to break loose in this place, America. The time of the Lord's judgments, man. His prophecies are famines, extreme food shortages, a lack of resources, supplies, different plagues and pestilences and diseases, our civil wars, race wars, sedition among men, the people rising up against the government, riots, and ultimately, Salaki, and also Jacob's trouble, man. Esau, the so-called Caucasian race, is going to come down with the MOTB that's spoken about in the book of Revelations, man, to where if you do not take that piece of technology within your body, you will not be able to live in this society, man. And ultimately, World War III was prophesied for America to be destroyed by 200 million nuclear missiles. All right. So again, this lesson just going on keeping your faith and your patience, for those times ahead, man. You're gonna need that faith within the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and your patience within that hope and faith, knowing that the Lord will pull you through. All right. So first and foremost is the book of Hebrews, chapter 10. I'm gonna start at verse 35. Cast not away, therefore, your confidence, which have a great recompense of reward. All right, and that confidence goes hand in hand with your faith, man. All right, so don't cast away your confidence. Don't cast away your faith within the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and His Word, because that's going to be the only stability in these days to come, man. All right, and how do you build that confidence? How do you build that faith within the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua? All right, by striving to be just, righteous, being instructed, being wise, applying this wisdom into your life, and increasing in learning, increasing in your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It says, cast not away, therefore, your confidence, which have a great recompense of reward. And that great recompense of reward is ultimately salvation, man. Receiving the Lord's grace and mercy in the midst of His judgments. All right. Verse 36 of Hebrews chapter 10. For ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of God, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, ye might receive the promise. All right, so it's gonna take patience, man, because though it tarry, wait for it. All right, so the time of the Lord's judgments and prophecies is coming, man, and it's gonna play out. But also His salvation and His grace and mercy unto the hopeful elect and the 1/3 that sincerely believe. But it's gonna require patience, because if you don't have that patience, it'll cause you to give up on the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and on His Word. All right, it says, for ye have need of patience, that after you have done the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, ye might receive the promise. And what's the promise? Salvation, grace, mercy, redemption. Those new bodies, man. Being preserved from the said judgment that's about to befall this place. Because all hell is about to break loose in this place, America. World War III, nuclear destruction, famines, different plagues, civil wars, race wars. That's all prophesied to take place right here in this sinful kingdom in the scripture spiritually as America, Babylon today. Those things are coming. They on the horizon. All right. It says, moving on to the book of Psalms. All right, it's the book of Psalms, chapter 91, starting at verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. What's the Lord's secret place? This word, these laws, statutes, and commandments, His prophecies, all right, through the Spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. This is the secret place of the Lord. This is how you find the Lord. This is how you build your faith, your confidence, your patience within the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, by dwelling in His secret place. It says, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And that's what you want to be under in these times to come. You want to be under the shadow of the Almighty, the shadow of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, not under the shadow of this world, because that's ultimately going to lead you to death and destruction, man. All right, you want to be protected and preserved by the shadow of the Lord, his angels, his spirit, his word, through your faith and through your patience and through your confidence within him. It says, verse 2, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him will I trust. All right, so that hopeful elect and the 1/3, those that sincerely believe, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to be their refuge in that day, or their fortress. In other words, their protection in that day when all hell is breaking loose in this place, man. All right, so you want to keep your faith and your patience, all right, so you can receive refuge and solitude and protection from the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua when all hell is breaking loose in this place, when the Lord is issuing out his judgments, man. You want to be on the end of his mercy and his grace. It says, verse 3, surely he shall deliver me from the snare of the fowler and cover thee, Salakia. Surely he will deliver me from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilences. All right, so the Lord will deliver you from the different snares and traps that Esau, Edom, the so-called Caucasian race, set up in this place to trap and ensnare our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Israelites of the Holy Bible, God's chosen people. Everything that's set up in this system is to keep our people in sin and transgression and opposition unto the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Those various different snares and traps that Esau set. All right, and it says, and from the noisome pestilence, and that noisome pestilence is 200 million nuclear missiles hitting this place, America, as is prophesied in the scriptures to do so in the midst of World War III. All right, Iran, Russia, North Korea, China, they're gearing up for World War III, accumulating and procuring nuclear arms, nuclear missiles, ready to go to nuclear warfare with this place. It says, verse 4, he shall cover thee with his feathers, under his wings shalt thou trust, his truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Or so it says, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and that feathers goes into his angels, man. The Lord has sent his angels to set a hedge of protection around you in this place when all hell is breaking through in this place, man. When there's nothing but judgment, death, sorrow in this place. The Lord has sent his hedges of protection, his angels, Salakia, to send a hedge of protection around you so those things don't befall you, man. You'll have a covering in that day. It says, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. All right, so the Lord's truth, his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the Spirit is going to be a shield and buckler unto you in that day, a protection, man. All right, and we're going to need that in these times to come, because if you don't, you're going to be defenseless against the said judgments and perils that's about to befall this place, America, man. It says, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor the sorrow, Salakia, nor the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilences that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. All right, ultimately, those arrows and that destruction that wasteth at noonday is nuclear destruction. 200 million nuclear missiles are prophesied to hit this place, America, in the midst of World War III. There's no escaping that unless you have the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, unless you have his protection, man, through your faith and your patience. It says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. All right, and this is to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the Israelites of the Holy Bible, God's chosen people. The Father's true name is Yahweh, his son's name is Yahweh Shah. Not Jesus, not Jehovah, not Yahweh, not Yeshua, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. Those are the only ways out of the destruction and the judgment that's about to befall this place, man. It says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. All right, so it's going to be a lot of death and judgment in this place, man, where 1,000 going to fall at your side and 10,000 at your right hand. All right, but it says it shall not come nigh unto that hopeful elect and that 1/3, those that chose to keep their faith and patience and confidence within the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. All right, they shall be covered and preserved in those times. It says, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. All right, so only with your eyes will you behold and see the reward of the wicked, man. All right, and what's the reward of the wicked? Primarily nuclear destruction, man. But also you're going to have different famines and different turmoils and judgments that's going to befall this place, man. Jacob's trouble, civil wars, race wars. All right, pestilences, different diseases, and so on and so forth. Those are the rewards for the wicked. But the reward for the righteous shall be salvation, mercy, and grace, being protected in the time of the Lord's judgment. It says, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation, man. But you're only going to receive that protection and that mercy and that grace by keeping the Lord's words, man. By being a hearer of the word, by being a doer of the words, Salakia, and not a hearer only. All right, by applying this wisdom unto your life, by having faith within Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua in his word, keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, standing for the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. It says, and making the Lord your refuge, your safe place, man, the place you go into to be increased and protected. All right. It says, verse 10, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways, man. So again, when all hell is breaking loose in this place, America, all right, the Lord is sending his angels over his elect, that hopeful elect, and the 1/3 that sincerely believe, the ones that's keeping their faith and patience upon him, man. He'll send his angels to protect you and preserve you when all hell is breaking loose in this place. When there ain't no food in the grocery stores, all right, the Lord will feed you. When it's all lawlessness and violence in the streets, the Lord will protect you and keep you safe, all right? And ultimately, when those 200 million nuclear missiles drop on this place, the Lord will call you up into his chariots and keep you and preserve you and protect you, pull you out of that sad fire. All right, it says, verse 12, they shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thee dash thy foot against a stone, man. So the Lord has sent his angels to protect you and preserve you, so the least bit of trouble or harm come upon you, man. You ain't even gonna dash your foot against a stone, because the Lord gonna have his angels protecting you and guiding your steps and your pathways in that day, man, through your faith and your patience. All right, we're going to the book of Isaiah, chapter 26, and I'm gonna start at verse 20. It says, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. All right, so the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to call his elect and that 1/3 up into those chariots, man, the so-called UFOs as they known today, but those are the chariots of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, heavenly vehicles. And he's going to use those to preserve the elect and the 1/3 from that overcoming indignation, man, the 200 million nuclear missiles that's about to befall this place. Because through the salvation of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, that's the only way out of that said destruction. All right, going into bunkers ain't gonna save you, man. Fleeing the country not gonna save you. The only way out is the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, he is gonna call his elect up and the 1/3 up to protect them and preserve them in that day and in that hour. It says, for behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for the iniquity, man. So the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is coming to punish the earth for the iniquities and the sin and the wickedness that's done throughout this place. Primarily here in this sinful kingdom America, but throughout the whole earth as well, man. The idolatry, all right, the worship of false gods, the engaging in these different philosophies that go contrary to the word of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, the homosexuality, the sodomy, the letter community that they try to push in this place and throughout the four corners of the earth. And any perverse way or unholy way that goes contrary to the word of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, which is exactly what's pushed in this place, America, the sinful kingdom, man. All right, they say one nation under God, in God we trust, but do everything contrary to the word of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And all of those ways are going to get the people destroyed, man. And 2/3 of our people as well, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because they chose to follow after those things rather than the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right. All right, we're moving on to 1 Corinthians. All right, it's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15. And I'm going to start at verse 51. All right, it's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, starting at verse 51. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. All right, and that mystery of being changed is the Lord giving the elect and the 1/3, those that kept their faith and their patience upon him, new bodies, spiritual bodies being changed in the twinkling of an eye in the midst of judgment and nuclear destruction. That's prophesied to befall this place, America. That being changed, all right? Having spiritual bodies, new bodies, all right? It says, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. All right, so in that last moment, as soon as those 200 million nuclear missiles about to hit this place, America, as it is prophesied in the scriptures to do so in the midst of World War III, in that last moment, the Lord is going to change his elect, give them spiritual bodies, spiritual powers, all right, change them in a twinkling of an eye, in a split second, all right, and preserve them from that said destruction. It says, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. So the dead are going to be raised incorruptible, man. All right, having those spiritual bodies, having that spirit of the Lord and those laws written in their inward parts, being made incorruptible. All right, and it says, and we shall be changed, for this corruptible must put on incorruption, that this mortal must put on immortality, man. Putting on immortality. All right, doing away with this flesh and taking on the spirit, which ultimately will translate to those spiritual bodies and ultimately salvation from the said destruction that's about to befall this place, America, man. All right, but first and foremost, you do that in your mind, man. You put off the mortal, the ways of our minds in this flesh, and you put on the immortal, the ways of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, through the spirit, through knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right, it says, verse 54, so when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought the past saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. All right, because once the mortal is changed into the immortal, all right, being made, given those spiritual bodies being made righteous inside and out, all right, sin will be done away with, man. All right, because the wages of sin are death. And it says, death is swallowed up in victory, man. So when that elect and the 1/3 are made righteous, you know, being changed in the twinkling of an eye, you know, the scriptures say, Yahweh Shah shall meet us as he is, man. All right, we're going to be in that same spiritual standing, man, those spiritual bodies, you know, righteous. All right, death shall be swallowed up because we're no longer going to sin no more. We're no longer going to go contrary to the word of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. All right, it says, verse 55, Salakia, O death, where is thou sting? O grave, where is thou victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law, man. All right, so the sting of death is sin. So anybody sinning in transgression against the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua's word, or in his truth, are ultimately going to taste death, man. They're going to be preserved for that said judgment and destruction that's about to befall this place. And it says, and the strength of sin is the law. So how do you overcome sin? All right, through the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, man. All right, and when the law fails per se, because we in this wicked flesh, what's gonna preserve you in that? Your faith and your patience within the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, man. That's gonna preserve you. That's gonna keep you from sin and transgression, which ultimately leads to death and destruction, judgment from the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. All right, so keep the Lord's words, keep his law, statutes, and commandments. All right, keep his word, man. Increase in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Increase in knowledge of the prophecies and the things that's about to befall this place. You know, increase in learning, be instructed. All right, be wise and apply the wisdom of these scriptures to your life. Strive to be just, righteous in the sights of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to the best of your abilities, man. All right, bear with me for a sec. All right, moving on to the book of James. Salakia. All right, it's the book of James. Chapter 1, I'm going to start at verse 12. It says, Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. All right, so blessed is the man that endureth temptation, man. The various different temptations and trials and things that we go through on our personal walk within our lives, but also that hour of temptation, where the scriptures tell you shall befall the whole earth, man. All right, that hour of temptation being, Salakia, let me get it. All right, it's the book of Revelations, chapter 3 and verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell therein. And what's that hour of temptation, man? When Esau, Edom, the so-called Caucasian race, the one that rules this place, comes down with the MOTB, the mark of the beast that the book of Revelation speaks of. And it's going to test you and try you to where if you do not take that piece of technology in your body, you will not be able to live in this place. All right, you will not be able to buy, you will not be able to sell. All right, that's the hour of temptation, man. Seeing your children hungry, that's going to tempt you to go down to Egypt for help. All right, seeing a sense of hopelessness, that's going to tempt you to go down to Esau for help, man. It's going to try the whole earth. And 2/3 of our people along these other nations, are they going to fall to that temptation, man, and they're going to bow down their knee unto Esau and receive that mark, which ultimately will resort in judgment, destruction. All right, but that hopeful elect in the 1/3 who choose to keep their faith and their patience on the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua will be preserved during that hour of temptation, man. All right, when hunger fill your belly, the Lord will feed you. When a sense of hopelessness try to hop on you, man, the Lord will send you hope. All right, he'll send you protection. All right, he'll send you preservement, protection in the midst of nuclear warfare. He'll send you grace and mercy in the midst of judgment. All right, he'll send you salvation in the midst of destruction. All right, it's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 3, starting at verse 42. I, Esdras, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua with songs. And in the midst of them was a young man of high stature, taller than the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. All right, and that young man of high stature is the Lord Yahweh Shai, a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah, man. All right, who's coming back to this earth to issue judgment unto 2/3 of our people in these other nations, but also salvation unto the hopeful elect in the 1/3 that sincerely believe, man, and have kept their faith and patience upon him. It says, and in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly, man. So ultimately that hopeful elect in the 1/3 that chose to keep their faith and their patience upon the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua shall receive crowns. All right, that's a reward, being exalted, being commended for standing for the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, standing for righteousness in the midst of wickedness, standing for life in the midst of death. All right, standing for light in the midst of darkness. It says, verse 44, so I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, these be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal. All right, so that the hopeful elect in the 1/3 are going to put off the mortal, man, the ways of our minds and our way of thinking, the ways of this flesh, and going to put on the immortal, man, the ways of the spirit, all right, and the ways of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the ways of his word, all right. And it says, and they're going to stand on that and keep their faith and patience within those things all the way up into the end. And it says, and have confessed the name of the Lord and are now crowned and receive palms. All right, so they're also going to confess the name of the Lord, Yahweh being the Father and Yahweh Shai being the name of his only begotten Son. All right, they're going to confess the names of the Lord, truth in the midst of lies. And they're going to stand on those things and stand on his word and protect his word, protect his name. It says, And now are they crowned and receive palms. All right, so that goes into the reward for your faith and your patience, being crowned by the Lord Yahweh Shah, hearing, well done, my good and faithful servant, rather than depart from me, I never knew you. It says, verse 46, then said I unto the angel, what young person is it that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of God, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord, man. All right, so that hopeful elect are going to be the ones confessing and standing stiffly for the name of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, standing for his word, standing for his laws, statutes, and commandments, standing for his prophecy, standing for his truth, all right, and standing for his names, man. Again, Yahweh being the name of the Father, Yahweh Shah being the name of his Son. And his word is going out to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Israelites of the Holy Bible, man. We got to know this truth, because all hell is about to break loose in America. This is the only way out. All right, moving on to the book of Isaiah. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 32 and verse 1. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. And that king that's going to reign in righteousness is Yahweh Shai. And the princes of the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that's going to rule in judgment. All right, it says, and they, Salakia, come on, that was it on that. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. So those that kept their faith and their patience on the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua are going to become rulers, receive kinship, man. You know, rulership, dominion. And salvation comes before those things, man. All right, and real quick, I want to get the book of Proverbs. All right, it's the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. All right, so when the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are set back in their rightful place as the rulers of the earth is going to rejoice. These other nations, the earth, the trees, the ground is going to rejoice and flourish because righteousness rule and prevail under the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And again, this is to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Israelites of the Holy Bible, God's chosen people. They lied to us, man. We're not black. We're not African. The Lord's true name is Yahweh Shai. The Father's name is Yahweh. We got to know these things. All hell about to break loose in this place, America. All right, it's the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So when Israel is ruling the earth, man, the earth and the people are going to rejoice. All right, the earth is going to flourish. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And right now, the wicked are ruling. Going back to the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth was given into the hand of the wicked. And who is that wicked, man? Who is ruling the earth, man, in wickedness? Esau, Edom, the so-called Caucasian race, been the hammer of the whole earth. Got 800, 900 something military bases across the whole earth. Are pushing a demonocracy and philosophies are in wickedness throughout the whole earth. All right, the earth is mourning. The people are mourning. Primarily the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, but that mourning and that sorrow shall soon turn to joy and laughter and rejoicing. All right, for the ones that kept the patience of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and their faith. And ultimately, all of Israel is going to be brought back in the kingdom, but 2/3 of our people are going to have to perish here because they chose not to have faith within the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They chose not to have confidence and patience on the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and his word, man. The scripture tell you, though it tarry, wait for it. All right, be patient. Wait for the prophecies and the judgments of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And ultimately, wait for the Lord's salvation. All right, wait for the Lord to do it because we cannot do it ourselves. Time and time again throughout history, we have seen our people try to do it. Our nation of people try to do it for themselves, and it has failed because it was done without the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Be patient and wait upon the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and He'll grant us everything that we seek. All right. All right, it's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, and I'm going to start at verse 19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. All right, so when it's all said and done, man, the Lord is going to, man, destroy all the things, Salakia, and all the people and the nations that afflict the children of Israel, man. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The apple of the Lord's eye. He's going to destroy those things, man. Put those things up under our feet. Make these other nations to be our servants and handmaids. All right, in the book of Isaiah, it says we shall rule over our oppressors. All right, those that lead into captivity shall go into captivity. All right, that's ultimately going to be the Lord's doing, man. And that's the message to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the Israelites of the Holy Bible, God's chosen people. The Father's true name is Yahweh. His Son's name is Yahushua. All hell is about to break loose here in America. We got to know these things. All right, it says, behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out, and I will give them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. So ultimately, every land that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have been put to shame, the Lord is going to cause the earth and these other nations to give us praise and fame, man. All right, that's also a part of that faith and patience. You know, if you keep it, that's what the Lord will give you, man. Praise and fame in the sight of your enemies and oppressors. The ones who have oppressed and afflict you and enslaved you and persecuted you. The Lord will cause them to come and worship at thy feet. Verse 20, at that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth. So again, it's reiterated, man. The Lord is going to make the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, a praise and a fame amongst all these other nations, man. Against our enemies and oppressors, the very people who oppressed and afflicted us and persecuted us. In that day, they're going to know that they have afflicted the apple of the Lord's eye, man. The Lord's chosen people.
Y'all listen to me, he's speaking the truth.
I thought yours was working.
Yeah, but her shit's synced up to your phone.
Oh, how's Jessica in there?
It's in the car.
I'm saying, you said it's what?
Her chime shit's in your phone.
Oh,
I'll feed you.
All right, Khan, this is the book of 2 Corinthians,
you what?
chapter 15 and verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast. And that steadfast goes into to patience, man. All right, and stand firm, continuing in the work, continuing in your faith and your patience of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, because the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites of the Holy Bible, God's chosen people. The Father's true name is Yahweh, His Son's name is Yahushua. America's about to be destroyed in the midst of World War III. It says, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, keeping your faith, man, all right, and your patience, being steadfast, continuing in the work, all right, unmovable, allowing nothing to separate you from the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, being unmovable in your faith and your patience, man. Always abounding in the work of the Lord. So continue in the work, continue studying, continue reading, continue teaching, preaching, prophesying. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. All right, so we know this is a reward at the end of this thing for those that keep their faith and their patience upon the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And that reward being mercy, grace in the midst of judgment and destruction, man. Salvation in the midst of thermonuclear destruction, all hell breaking loose in this place, America. All right, salvation, new bodies, laws written in our inward parts. You know, kinship, rulership, you know, righteousness. You know, a crown being placed upon our heads, man. Hearing that, well done, my good and faithful servant. Those all go into the reward for those that keep their faith and their patience on the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Not letting nothing shake you, man. All right? Continuing to stand for the Lord and his word and also his name, no matter what. All right? And Khan, man, again, just reiterating, this lesson was just going into keeping your faith and your patience for the times to come, man. Because all hell is about to break loose in this place, America, man. We're entering into the time of the Lord's judgments. All right, but only that elect and the 1/3 that have eyes to see and ears to hear are going to keep that faith and patience upon the Lord to be preserved from those sad things and to endure unto the end, man. All right, being steadfast, being unmovable for the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. And Khan, man, I pray and hope that lesson was edifying and or encouraging. And with that, I want to say, Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Shema, Maf. Again, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder as well, Harwan and Yasharallah. All right, shalom to Yakim, the brothers and the women and children that sincerely believe. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.